For generations, women have been the unwavering bedrock of American religious life. They filled the pews, nurtured faith in families, and powered countless ministries, making the church a vibrant community hub. Yet, a profound shift is underway, largely unnoticed by many. Women are quietly, yet decisively, disengaging from traditional church structures in unprecedented numbers. This isn't just a trend. It's a complex societal transformation with deep implications for faith, community, and the future of religious institutions. Historically, American churches have thrived on the dedication and participation of women. They consistently outnumbered men in attendance, forming the vast majority of volunteers, Sunday school teachers, and community organizers. This consistent presence ensured the continuity of faith across generations. Women were the primary conduits for religious education within families, often bringing children to services and instilling spiritual values. Their tireless efforts in fundraising, social outreach, and pastoral care were indispensable, shaping the very fabric of congregational life. Researchers and religious leaders alike acknowledge that the strength and resilience of American Christianity have long rested squarely on their shoulders. This historical reality underscores the profound significance of their current departure. Understanding this past is crucial for grasping the magnitude of the present shift. As society has evolved, offering women expanded roles in professional and public life, many have found traditional church structures slow to adapt. While women continue to fill the pews and perform essential volunteer work, leadership positions often remain predominantly male. This creates a stark contrast between participation and power. Pulpits, elder boards, and denominational decision-making bodies frequently lack equitable female representation. For many women, this disparity signals a fundamental disconnect, where their voices and perspectives are undervalued in the very institutions they sustain. This structural imbalance can lead to feelings of marginalization and a sense that their spiritual gifts are not fully recognized or utilized. This lack of inclusive leadership is not merely an issue of fairness. It impacts the relevance and responsiveness of the church to the lived experiences of its female members. It raises critical questions for religious leaders about institutional reform and genuine partnership. Contemporary women navigate an intricate web of responsibilities that often leaves little room for traditional church engagement. Juggling demanding careers, primary childcare duties, elder care, and household management creates immense time pressure and chronic exhaustion. Sunday mornings, once a sacred space for worship, now frequently collide with these overwhelming demands. For many, the church, rather than being a sanctuary of rest, can feel like another item on an already overflowing to-do list. The expectation of continued volunteerism, coupled with the need for personal rejuvenation, often leads to difficult choices. Attending services or participating in church activities can become an added stressor instead of a source of spiritual renewal. This practical reality is a significant factor in declining attendance, particularly for women in their prime, working and parenting years. Religious leaders must consider how church programming and expectations can better support, rather than burden, the lives of modern women. Beyond structural and practical challenges, a deeper current of disillusionment is driving many women away. High-profile scandals involving abuse cover-ups, financial impropriety, and moral failures within religious institutions have severely eroded trust. For many, these events represent a profound betrayal of the very values the church purports to uphold. Furthermore, the church's often rigid stances on issues like gender equality, reproductive rights, and LGBTQ+ inclusion frequently clash with women's evolving ethical frameworks and personal convictions. Sermons that delve into divisive political rhetoric rather than spiritual guidance can alienate those seeking solace and moral clarity. This creates a chasm between personal faith and institutional practice. For these women, leaving the church is not an abandonment of their spiritual beliefs, but often a conscious act of reclaiming their faith from institutions they perceive as compromised or out of step with their values. They may continue to believe in God, but their trust in organized religion has been irrevocably broken. The quiet exodus is particularly pronounced among younger generations of women, including Millennials and Gen Z. These demographics are less tethered to traditional religious institutions than their mothers and grandmothers, seeking spiritual fulfillment through diverse, often unconventional avenues. They are actively redefining what faith and community mean. Online spiritual communities, mindfulness practices, yoga, personal journaling, and social justice activism often serve as their primary spiritual outlets. These alternative paths offer flexibility, inclusivity, and a sense of authenticity that they may not find in conventional church settings. For them, spirituality is deeply personal and experiential, not necessarily institutional. This generational shift presents a significant challenge to traditional churches, urging them to reconsider their engagement strategies and adapt to new forms of spiritual expression. The question is not whether faith exists, but where and how it is being practiced. The quiet exodus of women from American churches is more than a demographic blip. It is a profound transformation of the religious landscape. It signals a critical moment for introspection for religious leaders, researchers, and the general public alike. What happens when the historical backbone of faith begins to seek spiritual nourishment elsewhere? This shift demands a deeper analysis of institutional practices, a reevaluation of leadership structures, and an honest reckoning with past failures. It compels us to consider how religious communities can become more inclusive, relevant, and genuinely supportive of women's multifaceted lives. The future of faith in America may well depend on how these questions are addressed. This is the Scholar's Ledger, where history, faith, and power are revealed. We invite you to engage with these critical insights. Share your perspectives in the comments, subscribe for more in-depth analysis, and join us in fostering a thoughtful discussion about the evolving role of faith in our society. Your voice is essential in understanding this complex transformation,